You are now entering Nyghtstorm Nation.
All I have to say is this.
Child abuse.
If you are one of those people
Divorce.
that have been put down all of your life,
Infidelity.
beat up and trapped in a pit of woe,
Depression.
it is time for you to stand up with the Nyghtstorm Nation, because we aren't going anywhere.
I'm YG Nyghtstorm, the man not afraid to be transparent, as I help real people with real issues. And my co-host is my queen, my stunningly gorgeous wife. Come on, baby.
Good morning, ATL and everyone all across the nation and all over the world, because you know we're on your smartphones. I know you have those smartphones tuned in. But this is Toby George Nightstorm, the woman not afraid to tell the truth about how things really are. And this is Nyghtstorm Radio. Radio gone real because we are you.
Now, Nyghtstorm Nation, if you're in the ATL, feel free to call in at 404-355-8699. And to all the Nyghtstorm Nation members around the country, call in at 1-866-923-2860. You can find out more about us, the Nyghtstorms, at Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. And you can also listen to our show from the Talk Radio page on Nyghtstorm.com, on Love860.com, and right here on Love 860 AM, baby.
That is right. And all you smartphone owners, as I said, pull out those iPhones, pull out those Androids, pull out whatever you're able to get into your app store to go to Love860.com. That's on iHeartRadio, Tunein Radio, iRadionow. Look for WAEC Love 860. Go to the Talk Radio section. That's where you will find it. And tune in to listen to Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday from 11 till noon. We're right here. All the time.
All the time.
Just waiting. And if you would like to see our lovely faces, and we can see yours, and just know that you're out there supporting us, go to Love860.com. Click on the Watch Now and see Nyghtstorm Radio TV. We're right here in the station looking at you as YG flexes his muscles and pretend he's a WWE star. Yeah, we're here all the time.
I'm the dark-skinned rock.
Okay.
If you smell what I'm saying.
I'm finna say, don't get too close now. Don't get too close now. Don't get sued up in this mug.
I ain't gonna get sued. I love Dwayne. He all right. All right, so we got a lot going on. What's on top for today, baby?
Well, today we're going to be talking about the neuroscience. Ooh, we're getting scientific. The neuroscience behind business and personal success. Is achieving greatness just about hard work and good decision making, or can your personal life experiences trigger success or failure in your brain?
Yeah, man. So let's get into this. And Nyghtstorm Nation, you know, we always start the show with how can I change my mate? And it is a segment where a husband and a wife both write in letters talking about the same issue that's going on in their life. So, baby, can I go on and talk about what the wife has said?
My king, go right ahead.
All right, so this is what the wife said. Dear Nyghtstorms, I want to be more than just a wife and mother. I absolutely adore my husband and children, but I honestly feel God has more in store for me in this life. I started my own company 6 months ago, and things are not doing too well. My husband says that my competition is fierce and I'm just too bland to stand out. He constantly puts me down, saying I need to be more edgy and have a plan of attack to separate myself from the pack. I know he's right, and fear is a bad character flaw of mine. All of my life, I have been told by my parents and loved ones that I will never amount to anything. I'm not afraid to fail, but I'm afraid to be wrong. How can I stand out from my competitors and show my husband that I am strong enough to do this? That's from the wife.
Very good. And the husband says, Dear Nyghtstorms, my wife thinks that she is a boss, but the truth is she's just too soft to lead a company. She has no backbone or grit, as I constantly watch our kids and even the dog push her around.
Oh, no.
She has no plan to separate herself from her competitors. She doesn't know her craft well enough to explain it, and she has the biggest case of stage fright I have ever seen. Who's going to buy a service from someone that is uncertain of her abilities and cannot deal with the brutality of the business world? If you can't stand up to 2 toddlers and a lapdog, how are you an expert that can lead people? I love her, but she needs to quit before she spends up all of our money on a dream that is quickly turning into a nightmare.
Wow. Okay. All right. So that is from the husband and the wife. Mm-hmm. And we are authorities at family management, but it's always refreshing when we can invite other authorities on. So, Jared, in my famous British accent, could you please roll that music so we can introduce our first guest properly? Ha ha! Yeah! Nyghtstorm Nation, our first guest is here. Take it away, my queen. Woo!
Known as the Trigger for his unique ability to bring powerful posture to brand messaging and to generate rapid increases in cash flows. This social entrepreneur based in Holland, Michigan is the mastermind of 3 successful businesses.
Anyone that can juggle a prominent boutique business development consulting company with his father, a world-class powerlifting gym with his wife, and takes investments from commercial real estate to fund ministries around the world is the very definition of business clairvoyant. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome to Nyghtstorm Radio, the creator of the celebrity CEO model himself, Mr. Shawn M. Miller. Yeah!
Welcome, Shawn.
Oh man, you guys, I need to travel with you guys at all times. I'm ready to step in with Tyson right now. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay. Let's simmer down.
But we're happy to have you, brother. But hold on, Jerry. Cut that music because
I don't want him to get in with Tyson.
I know, but I believe Shawn
we did that a little too good.
But hold on now. Hold on, because we got some reinforcements for Shawn. We got another guest. So, Jared, as I repeat, if you can cue that music in my famous British accent so we can introduce his backup plan. Let's go. Yeah, Nyghtstorm Nation, our second fantastic guest is here. Take it away, my queen. Come on.
All right, this esteemed graduate of UNC Chapel Hill School of Medicine, followed by an intense psychiatry residency at University of Miami, is a visionary leader in applying neuroscience to real-world problems.
With extensive experience in psychiatry, pharmacology, and software engineering, his Harvard training has led to a persuasive leadership innovations inspiring billionaires and Tibetan throat singers. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome the backup plan to Nyghtstorm Radio, the founder of Break the Cage MD, Dr. Manny St. Victor. Yeah!
Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. I got your back, Shawn.
I know, right? You gonna need the doctor if he getting there with Tyson, right? Let's think about this.
Well, you know, we got Shawn, and then we got the doctor, and then we got me, and then we got you, and then we got Jared. I don't think Tyson. You know, it's
we're gonna gang him.
It's
That's
ludicrous.
Right.
The Nyghtstorms are attacking me. It's ludicrous. It's Shawn Miller and Dr. St. Victor. Oh my God!
We're gonna go at them like Power Rangers, right?
Hey, Mighty Morphin, baby. Okay, all right. So, Shawn, are you there, sir?
I'm here, man. I'm here.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, now you heard the letter. Okay, from the couple. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and it's some interesting things that's going on with this couple. So, I want to ask you, sir. You teach people about becoming a celebrity entrepreneur and finding what you call the holy grail of personal and business branding. How can your techniques help this young lady before she destroys her business, her marriage, and herself, brother?
Woo! That sounds like there's some heavy relationship stuff going on there, isn't it? Man, that's a trick. And on one hand, she needs the support of her husband, and on the other hand, he might have a point, right? We also need to be brave and bold in leadership and business, and if he knows her better than anybody, then she might need some training, huh? So that's those are things that are obviously learnable and trainable, but he actually asked a really good question when he was alluding to differentiation and standing out in the marketplace, because that's a big problem today. We have what we call the marketplace axis of evil. And we're all facing this marketplace axis of evil, which is, first of all, distraction, right? We've never been so distracted, right? I mean, you guys, I can't see you. You might be looking at your cell phone right now, right?
I ain't going to answer that.
But we're listening. We're listening now.
Yeah, I hear you. So that means, there's some real facts and stats to this, but in my records show you've got about 9 seconds to capture the attention of your audience, or they're gone, they're checked out.
Right.
And if you manage to be so compelling as to get their attention in under 9 seconds, then you have a massive 72 seconds to communicate your full message before they're checked out again.
Right.
And that's a lot of pressure, right? That means you've really got to be clear and strong and bold and confident about what you can do, and then that's exactly the point that he raises. So that's something she's got to be able to face, distraction. We're also facing competition. That's the second axis of evil. Competition is fierce, right? And in every business space, competition is fierce. And what the real struggle is, and the reason that we created the Pyramid of Allure, is because most businesses feel like they can't raise revenue, but they have this constant competitive pressure to add value. And it's what I call the abyss of better, and it just squeezes profit margins as people try to add more and more value to their clients without the ability to really, add premium products or premium price services that can increase their profit margin. And the last one then is commoditization, right? And most people perceive their marketplace as overcrowded, right? And it's really hard to stand out and differentiate. And so there's really only two options there, and that I've found anyway. And one of them is to have the largest marketing budget in your industry. And that's a very viable option, right? And there are some companies that do that. I used to work for Caterpillar, and we outspend everybody, right? But most of us probably that are listening to this show probably can't do that. So there is one other option, and that other option is to be fascinating.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? It's to really, really be unique and interesting and transparent and authentic for today's economy. Stand out from behind. You cannot hide behind a logo, and you've got to really be a fascinating leader entrepreneur, which is what begets these modern-day celebrity entrepreneurs like the sharks on Shark Tank that we talk about.
And I like how Shawn broke that down, sweetheart. And he broke that down real quick because he had our attention in 9 seconds. And then he took the 70 seconds to really break it down, and then he took another 30 seconds to hammer it in home. How about, what you think about that, baby?
I think Shawn might know a little bit of what he's talking about. Now, Dr. Manny, we're going to bring you in on here.
Doctor!
Okay, now, the wife in this letter, she said something very disturbing, and I quote, "All of my life, I've been told by my parents and loved ones that I will never amount to anything. I'm not afraid to fail, but I'm afraid to be wrong." Now, tell us what's going on here from a neuroscientist point of view.
Well, she's got what they call introjects.
Okay.
And what that means
Wait a minute,
is...
say that one more time?
Introjects.
Okay.
And that just means you're still hearing the voices your parents put in your head.
Okay.
Now, what happens is we fall in love with people who play the roles that we've had played in our childhood. And I think love is all you need. I'm looking at that sign right now. Whatever attracted her husband to her, that magnetic force can attract clients who appreciate her for who she is. That's the first part. The second part is he needs to man up a bit and remember who he fell in love with and help her bring out those elements and at the same time become a complement and cover her weaknesses. You know, you're supposed to get behind your person, not tell them all the things that are wrong with them. You know, you got to pull the person out. You got to nurture them. That's what love is about.
Yeah, I know sometimes, especially with working with YG, he is such a big charismatic energy, as you probably picked up.
Oh, no.
And, you know.
Don't listen to that, Shawn. Don't listen to that, Doc.
You know, I've learned a lot watching him over the years, and with him, he coaches me, but sort of kind of in the way that she's saying that her husband is putting her down and saying she needs to do this and she needs to do that. I've heard the same things from YG, but I don't think of it in a way that he's putting me down and saying I can't do it. I think of it as, okay, what is he really saying to me here? What does he want me to grasp? Even if it's not necessarily coming out right the way he wants to say it, but I'm trying to hear the message behind, I think, what she's taking as an insult of saying you can't do it. I'm trying to say, okay, what is he really saying to me here? Okay, yeah, you're right. I need to. All right, I understand. And if I sit back and think about, you know, a particular situation that I handled or where I said something that the way that he's perceiving it, that another person may have saw it come across a way that I may not have wanted it to come across as, then I was like, okay, all right then. Yeah, all right, maybe I should have said it a different way.
Exactly.
So,
well, you know, just a little bit of sugar make the medicine go down.
That's true too.
Go down. Okay.
Because people don't want to hear it if they're on the defensive. That's what you're saying.
I mean, if Mary Poppins can get this right, a lot of folks can get this right. And I use constructive criticism with the queen, but I'm always building the queen up. It's like, you're better than this, you're more powerful than this, and you need to see yourself the way I see you. You need to see yourself the way the world sees you. If you can't see it for yourself, then it'll never be seen by anybody. But I want to ask you this, because I love my baby. But
and it's easy to get offended, because the first thing you're going to do as a person is that they're attacking me, saying I'm not good enough or I'm doing it wrong. So
yeah, okay. But I want to ask Doc Manny this. Okay, so you've been through a lot of stuff in your life, okay, and you know exactly what you're talking about from the neuroscience point of view. So was there any part of your life that was so challenging when you were hearing these things in your head, that was folks telling you can't do this, and how were you able to push past that and become what you are today? And, you know, what can you tell this young lady that she needs to do?
Well, she needs to stop playing unwinnable games.
Okay. All right. I like that.
So, first of all, she's not trying to attract the same audience that he is. And her audience, you become your own avatar. What would you need? What would you want? And there are people out there specifically waiting for the authentic her who will find her magnetic. And those people they might feel as if they've been beaten down by the environment. They might feel as if everything is against them, and the constructive criticism has more criticism than constructive when you signal at them. So you have to signal differently. Once he builds her up, she'll be able to be trusted by people who have had the same experience. In my case, when I realized that when I lost trust in medicine, I worked in a prison, like prison psych unit, and a lot of times when you're talking to these patients and you're hearing their pain, you don't give them a diagnosis that box them for the rest of their lives, but that's what the medicine requires you to do.
Okay, so, and Shawn, and we bring this back home to you, because I know we coming up on the break, and we got like 120 seconds, but what could you do just to wrap this letter up? You know, I know things have gone on in your life and you've pushed past them. What did you do to get past your challenges from these folks putting you down? And how can that kind of advice help this young lady real quickly, sir?
Well, for me to really move forward quickly, I need coaching. I need somebody, like Dr. Manny is somebody who has walked through that experience and can bring me forward. I think we need coaches and mentors. And I think it's quite likely that if she's going to be successful as an entrepreneur, that she's going to have to find somebody that can serve as a coach or mentor and walk, even if they're just a few weeks ahead of her, but somebody who can walk along with her and lead her through that path. And for me, that's the key to making these breakthroughs quickly.
Wow. Okay. Now, basically, Nyghtstorm Nation, what Dr. Manny and Shawn just said. Young lady, we appreciate you writing in this letter, but find someone that you trust that is in the position that you desire to be in, and listen to them intently. Now, the way how your husband was criticizing you, yes, it was criticism, but take it as constructive. build from that, realize just how powerful you are, and aggressively attack your dream until you drag it down to where you are so you can lift yourself, your husband, your family, and your business up. Now, you've been listening to Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, and after the break, we're going to get real deep with these brothers on helping another individual. See you on the other side of the break.
You ever been so depressed to where you want to hurt yourself because life has been unkind, unfair, and unforgivable? Folks done hurt you and thrown you away. Yeah, I know, because I was there too, until I read this book by NYGHTSTORM called All Action No Talk. This dude has been there, man. He understands us. He was homeless, abused as a child, abandoned by his dad, and even his oldest son passed away. I'm encouraged because if this dude can make it, so can I, and so can you. So check it out at Nyghtstorm.com, NYGHTSTORM, and know that you have the strength to change your life despite adversity, like him, like me, like you.
Hey, you, guy or gal that's listening, are you enjoying the night storms? Good! If you want the 411 on me, YG Nightstorm,
And me, Toby George Nightstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nightstorm, visit Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Check out our informative blogs, videos, and see what Nyghtstorm Nation is doing to benefit the community. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
thanks again for listening to the Night Storms on Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday at 11 a.m. to noon on 60 a.m. Atlanta's inspirational station. We are you.
Hi everyone, it's me, Lady Nightstorm, and have I got news for you. Want to know how to keep up with us and what we're doing in the community? It's easy. Just like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio and become part of the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list at Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM. Keep up with all our promotions, contests, and latest happenings. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
You are now rocking with the Night Storms on Atlanta's inspirational station, Love 860 AM WAEC. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nyghtstorm Radio. Our topic today is the neuroscience behind business and personal success with Shawn M. Miller and Dr. Manny St. Victor. And if you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, you can reach us at 404-355-8699 in Atlanta and 1-866-923-2860 anywhere else. Or hit us up on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio.
Yeah, now, sweetheart, we got a Nyghtstorm letter.
All
we
righty.
got another one. So, you ready, Shawn?
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready, Doc?
I'm ready, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Nyghtstorm letter. It says, Dear Nyghtstorms, I'm always inspired about your stories of surviving all the terrible things that have happened to you, like when your son passed away and when YG was homeless. I have some serious demons that I am fighting, and it all started when my mom died. Her last words to me are that I was a disappointment to her and she regretted ever having me. I haven't been a very good person, but I have changed my life. I want to be successful at something other than screwing up, but I feel that my brain is broken and littered with negativity that is holding me back. I want to start a business and establish myself, but how can I push past this darkness in my life and finally make my mom smile from heaven? And that is Cole from San Antonio. Okay. All right, Cole, thank you for your letter.
And Shawn, I want to get you in on this one. You know, it's always easy to help others with their issues, but I know it can be hard to fix ourselves. So what makes you qualified to teach other people and business leaders about branding and your message to help this young man?
Well, we've done this, right? We've done it many times and had a lot of success in business ourselves and with clients. And it's, the thing that's interesting to both of these questions is we've switched now into what we call a we economy. We're no longer into a me economy. We're in a we economy. We're about 12 years into a 40-year shift where people are going to be much more interested in authenticity and transparency and purpose and connecting in the community and doing things together. So the interesting thing about that is that means that for me, it's about my journey as an entrepreneur, right, and what I'm going through and connecting people that identify, as Manny just said, as being our own avatar, and connecting with people that are interested in going on the journey with me and co-creating. Right, and that's what our culture is seeking, and what our marketplace is seeking today. That's the right message. So the interesting thing when we're talking about folks that are struggling and they think that's a problem, but just as Manny said a minute ago, there's actually a great opportunity in that. When we're really passionate about a problem that we must solve, and we're authentic and transparent about who we are and what our journey is, there are people that are going to be attracted to that. They're going to want to be a part of that journey. They're going to want to follow and even attach themselves to us, and as we move forward in that journey. And it's actually, when we're talking about starting a business, I think both questions we've had were starting a business or a new business. It's much, much easier to solve a really big problem for a very small number of people than it is to try to solve, a very small problem for a large number of people. That's economically challenging to do that. To reach a very, very large audience is difficult for a startup. You don't have the capital or the horsepower. But if you understand that what you have is a really powerful solution to a really big problem that a small number of people will really naturally be attracted to, I think Manny said magnetically, right? That's the best target, and that's the best type of startup position to be for an entrepreneur today. So I actually think, as much as these stories, sound difficult, I see a lot of hope in those stories and a lot of opportunity to make a connection that you couldn't make if you weren't real in that way.
I like that, and I like that answer. And you was talking about openness and transparency, and people willing to follow you down that journey of transparency because they see themselves in you. You're not so unapproachable. You're not Superman from Krypton, and you can lift up a freaking building.
Right.
Okay, but you are somebody that is hurt, that's been down in the mud, that has grinded, and that has found your way out. And while you're finding your way out, you are telling people, this is how I did it. Yes, it's dirty. Yes, it hurts. But if you continue to be persistent, as you help me, I help you, and we all grow. And I love that. And Dr. Manny, I want to ask you this. Now, you have clients from around the world that you teach how to actively discover how their minds work and how they think their way to success without shame. Now, this young man has a whole lot of shame because he has not been the best person. He self-admitted. And his mother even told him on her dying day, on her deathbed, that he was a disappointment and she regrets ever having him. So that shame right there is kind of hard to get past. But what can you suggest that he can do mentally to push past that so he can continue to change his life and become the successful entrepreneur that he wants to be?
Absolutely. The first step is to change your story. Now, because I have a concept called the 4 horsemen, and one of the horsemen is the victim, where you're stuck, there's nothing you can do. Another one is the critic, another one is the perfectionist, and the other one is the worrier. The victim has a lot of shame, and that shame gets a layer of contempt on top of it, where you if you don't want it inside, you might poison other people with it. But you can't attract people like that.
Wow.
The first step is to change from one of those 4 horsemen stories to a hero's journey. The hero's journey, at the end, you're going to make your mama proud.
Right.
So what does that look like? Start imagining your mom proud, and you could walk through fire. You know, because the two things that overcome the fear and the shame are courage and compassion. Okay, and if you imagine your mom, how proud she would be, the things that she wishes she could have accomplished, and it hurt her a bit that at the end of her life she didn't necessarily get you to where she wanted. So it's to make her proud, you got to finish the journey, let go of the shame, let go of the part inside of you that has that negative voice, and realize that you're one unit. You can't work with half of a self. So the part of you that's saying the negative things, say to that part, I hear you and thank you for keeping an eye out and reminding me that mom had some pain, but I also remember the good things about her, how she loved me, the times that she turned to me and how much she tried for me. And use that and come together as one unit and cross that finish line and make her proud.
Wow. See, I love this. I like this, Batman and Superman type thing with Shawn hitting it on the business angle and Doc hitting it on the mental angle. Man, but Cole, you're going to be all right in a minute. Go ahead, baby.
I know, right now. I like to go back to Shawn. Hi, Shawn.
Hey.
Now, you used the interesting word posture. Now, what do you mean by that? And can you give some examples of how people like Cole can impact their posture to the world around them and become the next great business revolutionary?
Well, there's two sides of what we call pyramid of allure, and one side is the positioning side, and the other side is the posture side. So positioning is really one's expertise and one's position in the market. So an easy way to understand positioning is, for example, all soda pop was basically cola until 7-Up came along. And what did they call themselves but the un-cola? Right? So that's positioning. So they said, we're different. We're not like cola. We're different. We're clear, right? So that was their big difference. So that's positioning. The other side is posture, and posture is more of our establishment of know, like, and trust. It's the creation of celebrity at the very highest end, and it's basically our attraction, right? And it's our posture and how we position in the marketplace. So, for example, I'm confident that if I walk through Atlanta with YG, people are going to know I'm a cool dude. Right? There's not going to be any question that posture my posture is going to be much better. I'm going to be better perceived if I'm walking around with YG than if I'm walking around by myself. And we actually call that celebrity transference. And there's some actual real tactics to that. But one of the things that he can do as he begins to grow his business is what we would do is we would have him connect into traditional media and become a resource to traditional media. And there is a magical lure of attraction that happens when one's in media. And I'll just give you a really quick story. I have a brand new client. He's a financial planner. And I got him the opportunity to comment on an article in the Wall Street Journal. And he was excited about that. And I said, the reporter's going to call you on your cell phone. And I said, if your cell phone rings, I don't care what you're doing, answer the freaking call, right? But he's busy, and so he had a client meeting, and he said, he told them up front. He said, "Look, I would never normally do this, but the Wall Street Journal may call me, and if my mobile phone rings and I don't recognize the number, I'm going to need to take the call." And this client sitting in the chair about melted that their financial advisor was about to get a call from the Wall Street Journal. There's a magic allure to that status of merely mentioning that I'm connected to an establishment of media like that.
Wow. See, and that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You see how he broke that down so easy.
I'm new to the financial planner too, but he can
put
his chest out. Exactly.
If I get a call from the Wall Street Journal, excuse me while I go help them. I'll be right back.
I know, right?
And the client is sitting in the chair like,
he big baller.
Yeah, my financial planner hooked in the big people. Yeah, I want to use your services. That's absolutely fantastic. And I know Cole is listening right now. Mm-hmm. So this is some good stuff for you, man. So now I want to ask you this, Doc. Okay, now speaking of business revolutionaries, okay, now I want you to tell us about the Break the Cage MD and explain your program and how it helps doctors to be able to help folks like Cole a little bit better, brother. I mean, this is some revolutionary stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
They always said, physician, heal thyself.
Uh-huh.
And somewhere along the way, we lost track of that because we have doctors working 88-hour shifts. During training, medical training is a little abusive. And it became less about the patient and the relationship between the doctor and the patient and more about the factory, the hospital, the assembly line. And so with Break the Cage MD, what I've done is over the last few decades, I've had a chance to go into business and back to medicine, into business, back to medicine, and compare the two worlds. And with physicians, if we change the way we look at the world so that we stop seeing people as patients, and this is, again, stop seeing what's wrong with people, stop checking boxes and putting them somewhere so you can sprinkle some pills on them. If you start looking at what the resources people have, the energy they have, the relationships they have, how they can help themselves up. And you don't anchor them to a sick identity, you anchor them to wellness. Because if you have high blood pressure, you're an alcoholic, you're a drug user, and if I put that on your chart, everywhere you go, the first thing people are going to think is, okay, here's this drug user, I'm trying to make him use less drugs. Versus this is a healthy, comical, energetic father. Treat the person from that. And in order to be able to do that, first you have to stop diagnosing yourself with all these medical illnesses and start looking at stuff outside of medicine like mythology, narrative, relationships, love, passion, exercise. You got to live it. And the only way to live it is to start doing things like spending time with people outside of medicine and core value-driven business. Live your passion, which a lot of times means getting away from the married with medicine mindset, and then lead by example. Show people what health is. Don't show them what pathology you can paternalize onto them. Show them how healthy living works. Wow. I have my baby with me all the time. That's healthy for me.
There you go. And she's
adorable.
Gorgeous.
I know.
Okay, I want to say this because to me, what it sounds like you and Shawn are saying, I want to go back to that word you use, introjects. Okay, people and circumstances will weigh you down. And negativity happens to everybody. Everybody goes through their stuff. Everybody goes through their hurt. And we all process it differently. But when we start using the negativity coming from other people and we start imposing these ideals upon ourselves, creating this new identity of I can't, I won't, I never will be, and I'm nothing. And that shame hits people. I like the fact of you guys are arming folks like identifying what the celebrity is, or fixing a problem for a small group of people, but a big problem for a small group of people, creating a new identity for yourself, pushing past those introjects. And then you even got doctors, instead of diagnosing them from what their past techniques have been and saying this person is this and this person is that, start identifying a person as something better. Start looking at the positives of empowerment. So, Cole, I want to reach out to you, brother. Shawn has just broken down, and I look good walking next to Shawn. I don't care what you say. Okay, he's broken it down for you, sir. Okay, Dr. Manny has broken it down for you, sir. And just to give a little bit of YG wisdom, stop listening to the haters. Okay, your mama is still looking down on you. And as long as you are alive, brother, you have a chance to continue to proceed to your greatness, to your glory. And the fact that you have already recognized these issues is step one. Apply the things that Shawn and Dr. Manny is telling you to do. Push the fast forward button in your life. Know that criticism is coming. Know that hardships are coming. Know it's going to be a hell of a mountain to climb. But you climb that mountain one step at a time, constantly pushing forward. And the next thing you know, you're at the summit looking down on your problems because you have surpassed them. So go ahead, baby. We're going to a break.
No, I was just going to say we're going to continue with this conversation after the break, and we have more to talk about and more breakthroughs to make. So come back with us, Nyghtstorm Nation, right here on Love 860 WAEC.
Event planners, Are you worried that your next corporate get-together is going to be boring?
Then invite the Nyghtstorms to speak at your next event and electrify your organization as we break down how to grow your business, fix broken relationships, and conquer life challenges.
So make your next event epic. Invite me and the Queen to rock the house with inspirational techniques designed to empower individuals and maximize their true potential.
And thanks for listening to Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational station.
We are you.
This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nyghtstorm, and I'm known as the woman not afraid to tell the truth about how things really are. And the truth I have to say to you is you should listen to Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday from 11 till noon. And you should also like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio. And join the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list on Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. We are you.
This is YG Nyghtstorm. And why should you listen to Nyghtstorm Radio? Because we relate to you or someone you know with topics taken directly from our lives. Every time you tune in, you'll hear a discussion about real subjects that affect real life. Why? Because me and the Queen have been there. So join us right here every Thursday morning from 11 to noon on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
Hello, Nyghtstorm Nation. This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nyghtstorm, and I have a question for you. How much are you spending each day on lunch? $6, $7, $10 even? Do you know that for less than what you spend each week on lunch, you can advertise your business or service right here during the show on Nyghtstorm Radio? Why don't you inbox us on Facebook, send us a message on Twitter, or drop us a line at Nyghtstorm.com. Let us show you how you can get your business or service out in front of the people. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nyghtstorm Radio. We are talking about the neuroscience behind business and personal success with the man, Shawn M. Miller, and the backup plan, Dr. Manny St. Victor. And so let's get back into this. So, Dr. Manny, okay, we had an interesting conversation so far on how people can move forward, but I want to ask you this. What technique can our listeners use right now to control their mind for a greater chance of success? Just one technique.
5-minute breathing daily.
Mm-hmm.
The breathing meditation. And if you want the science behind it, there's two parts to your brain, to your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
One is the one that uses all the words, all the noises. It's the concepts, the worry about the future, the feeling bad about the past.
Mm-hmm.
The second you move away from that part to the part that lives in the present, the part that feels your body, the part that hears your breath, the part that feels love, fear, and in the moment, and in response to it, you're healthier. And you do that 5 minutes meditation, breathing every day, listening to your breathing. It brings your brain back into the present.
Wow. That's simple.
Because you're like, that's all?
That's just that simple.
Easy.
It changes everything in your body.
Wow. Okay. Now, Shawn, what is your number one best top strategy that our listeners can use right away for a greater chance of success, and how can people reach you?
Hang on, I'm still meditating.
Shawn M. Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so this is easy. This is one of our big trigger points here. We call this the bold prediction, and we were just talking about the magic allure that's created when you appear in media.
Mm-hmm.
And people think that it's challenging to get in the media, but the reality is that media, like, think back to Axis of Evil and Distraction. Media has never been so niched and or so omnipresent. So all media today is 24/7, 365. It's all global, and it's all incredibly niched, right? I'm not so old that I don't remember when people thought it was funny that ESPN was going to run 24/7 sports, and now there's, 12 ESPNs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, this is... So what they've created for themselves with all that specialization is a problem in filling all that content with something that's interesting. So in order to do that, they have to, ideally, they need to have controversy, right? There's got to be something that's scary or controversial for them to talk about. And I don't want to talk about what, watching all that news will do to you, right? But
yeah.
we can easily put ourselves in that position by taking the role of the prognosticator or a predictor, and using a bold prediction or a bold claim that is ideally an against position. And I don't want to get too technical, but like I talked about 7-Up and Coke, 7-Up took an against position against the establishment, right? And that's the most powerful way. So if we take a prognosticative position. I might need Dr. Manny to help me with my vocabulary. But we take
breathe.
We take a prognostication position because anybody can report, right? And the media is full of, no disrespect, but it's full of 20-year-olds that don't make any money, and they're struggling with people on the air that are interesting. And the one who prognosticates is unusual. That's somebody that really stands out, right? That's somebody that has some expertise and is willing and able to predict the future. So if you can go into your market space, find the media that is interested in your marketplace, right? They're interested in the problem that you solve, and make a bold prediction that's preferably counter to the mainstream thought at the moment, then you're going to be immediately very interesting, and you're going to have the opportunity to appear in media. And when you do that, a lot of good things happen to you. There's a ton of leverage that comes from being featured in the media.
See, now that's what I'm talking about. And I'm sitting here listening to this, and we in media, and we know this, but it's so simple. And I'm not going to say it's simple, but it's tough. But the system on what you and Dr. Manny are saying, it's not rocket science. This is just common sense. And if you want to go after it, like I said, and Cole, I hope you're still listening. And to Nyghtstorm Nation, when you're listening to these authorities, not just experts, but authorities, these gentlemen know what they're talking about. They've been there. And we wouldn't bring nobody on this radio show if we did not believe in them as well. And I want to ask you this, too, also, Dr. Manning. You talked about the Cage MD, Breaking the Cage MD. How can people reach you, sir?
They can reach me at on Facebook is the best way. I'm there present at Break the Cage MD. Or they can go to breakthecagемd.com and sign up for the newsletter.
Okay.
And the newsletter, the theme of the newsletter is to reclaim your personal power.
That's what's up. Okay, and Shawn, how can folks reach you, sir?
Well, I'm pretty omnipresent online. I'm not too hard to find. There's a lot of Shawn Millers in the world. So I'm at Shawn, SHAWN, M for Michael, that's my middle name, and a pretty badass angel as well, by the way, and Miller, Miller. So you can find Shawn M. Miller on all the social media feeds, or you can go to ShawnMMiller.com. I'm not hard to find.
There you go. Now, gentlemen and my queen, we have discussed some very hard-hitting issues with people who have been dealing with some very serious things. And whether it's outside forces or inward voices that have been holding them back, they are troubled. But there's a word out there that can trump an entire ocean of negativity. And that word is love. And we have come to the love shout out portion of our show where the Nightstorm Nation gets to send some love shout outs to each other, expressing their appreciation and love for each other. Now, baby, what we got right here?
Well, first up, we have Denise. And Denise sends her love to Andre. And they are celebrating their 23rd wedding anniversary this
Wow, 23 years of matrimony. And they haven't killed each other yet.
I know.
Okay.
And that's great.
That's awesome. And we also...
Congratulations.
Yeah. And James, he sends his love to his wife, Marion, as they celebrate their first anniversary.
All right. They got through that first year.
Yeah, they need to be, making sure they listening to Dr. Manny on that breathing so they can make it till year 2.
Dr. Manny, who would you like to send a love shout out to today?
Oh, obviously my princess Amy.
Oh.
And my son, Manuel, he's in school right now. And I've got Princess Imani here with me. So those are my hearts. And Mama. Hey, Mama.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, Mama. All right. And Shawn.
Oh, I love it. Hi, Mom. I love it. I've got, I have my own Amy. I have it is a different Amy, I promise.
I hope so. His Amy's at
school. We're running on 18 years up here in Holland, Michigan, and we're a team, and that's a great thing to have a teammate, and we're doing really well.
Cool beans. Well, I want to send my love shout out to YG.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, thanks for the support. And thanks for my bracelet.
Oh, Lord.
He got me a bracelet.
Oh, Lord.
And also, just to everything that you do and the hard work that you put in and the great man that you are. And a shout out to our children. We hardly ever acknowledge them, but they're there. All 7 of them. Hi, guys.
We ain't studying you out. How about that? But I'll say a love shout out to you, my queen, because you make everything worth the work, the sacrifice. And I put up on Twitter, they said, people ask, what motivates me? What inspires me? Well, the thing is, I have 7 children. I have a queen. I have a business, and I have a charity. And people are depending on me for their lives, literally. So,
and that gets overwhelming, but we got your back.
It does, but if I fail, then my wife fails, my children fail, my business fails, and my charity fails. And failure is not an option. So you guys motivate me, and thank you for continuing to inspire me to be in the air that I breathe, the sun that helps me grow, and the planet that I live on. Ooh. I love you and appreciate you, baby.
Oh. Goodness. See, you're always on stage.
Yeah, come on.
But anyway, we want to give a big thank you to Nightstorm Nation for supporting us. We've been rocking it with you guys for over a year now. We appreciate your support. And a big thank you to our guests, Shawn M. Miller and Dr. Manny St. Victor, for joining us today. We want to also thank our couple that wrote us the letter, and to Cole. We appreciate you taking the time to let us assist you in what you're going through right now. And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Nightstorm Radio and Nyghtstorm.com.
Yeah, and we have the best producer in the world. His name is Jared. And Jared has a queen of his own. And she is always doing things for him, and he is always preparing her and making sure she's okay. So, Jared, I want to get a few words from you, sir. What you got to say, man, about your baby and your queen?
My queen is my entire life, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
Everything that I do is to give her the best life that she deserves. I'm working 2 jobs right now. We're working on saving up for the nuptials right now, as I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now. So everything that I do is because of love.
And you see how he did that so eloquently. See, the music went on down when he talking, right? And when he said love, he hit the music.
See, that's the producer. That's why we want to strap him to the chair so he can't move away from us.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry, guys. I will miss you guys, but it's not. I'm not leaving yet. So
I know, but just the thought. You have nightmares. We're tossing and turning. Jared's going to leave us in a few months. But anyway.
But thank you, Jared. Okay, and one more thing. Hey, Shawn, you still there, buddy?
I'm here.
What words of wisdom, real quickly, can you give out to all the people that have learned from you and all the people that are going to learn from you? You know, just a quick love shout out to your Shawnites.
Keep going.
Well, you know, what I would say, you know, I'm the business guy here, right? And what I've got to say is that we talked a lot about the story and the journey and transparency and connecting. And if we want to be successful in business today, you cannot hide behind a logo. You've got to be real and present and visible and engaged with your community of followers to grow your business today.
Amen. Wow. And Dr. Manny, your Mennonites, real quickly.
Well, love is all you need. It truly is. The only thing that can fix any wounds, and this is across poverty, people, handicaps, whatever, if you have maternal love and you have love of a partner, it rewires your whole brain.
There you go. Okay. All right. Now, we always end the show with a pledge to the Nyghtstorm Nation. And it goes simply like this. We are here together in the combined power of individuals who dare to be above the status quo to initiate change.
We make the difference of success over failure within our families, our businesses, and our communities.
We come together as one body, one soul, and one mind, spreading the fruitfulness of truth and empathy to those that need it most.
We are Nyghtstorm Nation.
And we are you. Have a fantastic week. God bless you. Thank you, Shawn M. Miller. Thank you, Dr. Manny St. Victor. We appreciate it. And let's go look at that pretty little baby of yours.
All right.
We out, Nyghtstorm Nation. See you next week.
All right. Have a good week.